Hello.
Oh my god! He
Oh!
made it! He made it! Oh my god!
Oh!
He made it!
Oh,
He made it! Oh my! I forgot to mute the stream, but no one was watching. It was fine. But he made it!
I can't believe he made it.
I can't believe you.
Well,
Yeah,
why not?
literally the moment I was unmuting,
I know.
and he's there. Oh my god, Jacob, you're a fucking animal, man. Speaking of,
But hi guys, welcome to P.L.O.P.
welcome to P.L.O.P. This is the this is the secret week, because we didn't do any promotion for it, so we probably won't get many viewers. So this is the VOD week.
The viewers we do get are the real ones.
They're the real ones. Only real ones know what's up.
They're the real.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everyone else is fake friends, fake viewers. Not literally.
Which currently means we have no real viewers. Am I right, fellow gamers?
Nice. Good job, us. How you both doing today?
Okay.
I'm pretty hungover.
I'm also quite hungover, actually.
I
wonder why that could be.
No, I don't know. Well, I bought myself a drink because I'm 18 now. I'm
Woo!
we can
Today
now
was
we can now start the P.L.O.P OnlyFans. We rotate each day of who gets to upload on the OnlyFans.
Please, let's start with a P.L.O.P calendar. Much sexier.
Oh, that is a good idea. That's a pretty good idea, actually. You should put a pin in that one, actually.
Okay.
I got a new microphone, so hopefully the quality is better.
So we've got barely legal ASMR in the chat.
It's not on a stand or
pretty-
anything. It's just lying in front of me on my desk, and I'm terrified to touch it now in case of the interference. How's your dinner, Jacob?
It's okay.
What'd you have for dinner?
I sent you a picture.
Yeah, you sent us a picture.
You didn't send our viewers a picture. Come on, paint one for them.
I shall
words.
paint a picture
Paint a
with
picture
words.
with words. A vocal picture.
So, a vocal picture. There was a lovely cut of pig wrapped around a common fowl used for nourishment, accompanied by
turkey.
very small. I don't know how to come up with an obtuse term for potato. So baby potatoes.
New potatoes is what I call them.
You know what I call them? I
What
just
do you
call
call
them.
new potatoes?
Well, my mum calls them baby boils because they're boiled potatoes.
That's quite a cute name.
And then
Scotland,
broccoli.
we call them bands of the earth.
I don't think that's true. And also,
It isn't.
Wait,
you say that as if you're like in Scotland at the moment.
I watched something.
I mean, mentally, emotionally speaking.
Mentally.
You know, on all levels except physical, I am in Scotland.
Is there a single Waitrose in Scotland though?
Yeah. Buddy, I was born in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is the fucking absolute, it's the Shrewsbury of Scotland. You know?
Fuck.
Like,
What a
no.
what a reference to that people are going to understand.
okay, it's the Bath of Scotland. It's the
What a reference. What con goes to Bath? Sorry if you're from Bath.
posh cunts. I'm trying to...
I know nothing about Bath.
I can tell,
Go to
Cody, you're a
Bath.
very stinky boy.
Goblin.
Oh, wow. We haven't actually made reference to your goblinness on P.L.O.P yet.
No, I even
This
have
is
a
the
green
start of the
background.
Cody... Wow. Deep lore.
Well, Goblin. That'll have to be the name of our D&D podcast, which we're going to start probably...
Never.
Hell yeah! So watch
Jacob.
this space.
Well, I mean, you
So
don't
when
have to watch
D&D
this space right
podcast-
now.
When you say
because-
D&D podcast, do you mean we're going to be talking about D&D, or
No,
we're going to be playing D&D,
D&D.
and we're just going to podcast that?
Yeah.
It's not going to be any video.
No,
element.
there'll be something. Podcast was just a turn of phrase.
I see the turn of phrase version of podcast.
I think it's the question of thought.
To be entirely fair, a lot of the podcasts I watch are YouTube videos with videos and footage and cameras.
A lot more of my favourite
I,
podcasts don't have any visuals.
being hungover has really reduced my ability to string words together, I'm afraid, guys, which is not what you want your podcast fellow host to say, but
It's a nice chilled episode of P.L.O.P today.
it's a real... This one, pour yourself a bubble bath, drink it down.
Go to bath.
You mean a bubble bar?
Bubble bar.
Pour yourself a bubble bath.
A bubble bar.
Pour yourself a buble bath. You just put it on and then
Oh.
just listen to him saying, I just haven't met you yet, and I've got a dead son. And then you just...
Did his son die?
Yeah.
Such a
think
No!
so.
What a way to find out!
Or maybe he's just super ill, I'm not sure.
What do you guys? How have you guys felt about the news of Larry King?
I'm sad. Michael King? Larry King.
Larry King.
Larry King is pretty cool.
Oh, no, Michael Bublé's son is not dead.
Okay.
So
Good for you, Mike.
it was just wishful thinking there, Lex.
I can't
I don't
believe
have
Lex
any
is going
attachment to his
kill
son dying.
Michael
But why would
Bublé's
you come
son.
up with that fact about him then?
It's just I remember making fun of him and then feeling bad because he had a dead son, and then I was doing it and I was like, I've got to
But he
lean
doesn't-
into the spin, you know?
But he doesn't have a dead son.
Well,
Lex is
maybe-
going to kill Michael Bublé's son.
Maybe he has an allergic reaction to light, to sunlight. So in that way, the sun is dead to him.
Are you saying Michael
Oh!
Bublé's a vampire and that's why
Yes.
his visage never changed?
To be fair, in the winter, when the days are the shortest, but that does actually remind me of a question that I found on Reddit, which I know this is going to sound like it's going to be a bad section, and it probably will be. But
When's that ever
I
stopped
saw a
before?
question on Ask Reddit, and it connected to a deep part of me, and I want to know what you guys think about it.
Which deep part of you?
The inner child.
Oh,
Ooh, that's very deep with you.
that's
Mm.
Deep down there, buried beneath many, many other things.
So the question is, why did we all draw the sun in the corner of a drawing as a kid?
It's just seems like a good place for it to go.
But also, did you guys ever draw a picture of the sun in a picture where, like, you didn't really need the sun? You know what I mean? It wasn't always
We
just
don't really
like...
need the sun. Let's just get rid of it. We'll be fine. We don't need this. We need the sun.
You know what I mean? Like,
The sun deserves the respect of being in children's drawings. It doesn't get any respect outside.
do you
of
think if
children's
children
drawings.
stopped drawing the sun,
The
it
sun
would
disappear?
die?
To be fair, it's a pretty easy thing for a child to draw because it's just a circle.
That's true.
But because it's like the sun, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It can be a bit wobbly. And just call it style.
Do the lines off it.
Personally, I'm going to make sure my kid draws really good suns by forcing them to just stare at it for hours on end before they draw.
My dad said he did that once, and he thought he was going to be blind forever.
Was he?
He was blind for like a few hours, I think.
Jesus Christ, that would be
Because he just
scary.
decided.
How
He just
long did
decided
he
when he was
stare
a
at
kid
the
to
sun
stare. I don't
for?
know, for like 20 minutes or something.
My God.
Oh, a very good point in the stream chat here from one of the real ones, twitch.tv/acutely unaware. Why the sun is in the corner of the drawings is because a quarter or a third of a circle is like easier to draw than a full circle.
Because you just draw from like the corners of the page. I get it. I always drew the full circle in the corner though.
I think I intended to too.
I was not a very arty child.
I've done the full circle, not in the corner before.
Yeah,
I've
put it
done
in the
like
middle,
near the center of the page
Yeah.
sometimes.
like at the top of the middle. You can't just put it slap bang in the middle because that would look a bit weird. Unless you're doing. some
Unless
kind
you
of
were going
sunset
for like
piece.
a Quentin Tarantino shot. Not Quentin Tarantino. What is the name of the dude who did The Shining?
Oh, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jesus Christ.
Where culture.
I was like, Stephen. And I was like, I know it's not Stephen. Don't say Stephen, Lex.
Stephen.
Well,
Tarantino.
Stephen King did write The Shining.
True.
It's an honest mistake that anybody could make, except a hardcore Shining fan.
Oh, another good
Unless
point.
they're
Made.
fans of the book.
Sorry, I'm
and they hate
interrupting
the,
my fellow podcaster Jacob.
Yeah, stop interrupting me.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I feel like we need to We need to reconcile this. Very sorry.
Um,
What can I do to make it up to you?
you can give me free access to your upcoming OnlyFans account.
It's a shared OnlyFans account, Jacob. We all use the same password.
No, but I'm not posting anything.
Well, I feel like you've dreadfully misunderstood the contract you signed for P.L.O.P.
Well, then you haven't made anything up to me at all.
Oh my god, guys, we should.
I want
I
you to make an alternate OnlyFans account for just me. I'm the only fan. It's the only fan. That's such a good competitive market.
That's actually
It's
that's what we're gonna call this episode, the OnlyFans.
It's like really, really high-end, expensive pornography where only one person can ever have it. The only fan.
So there's many models on it, but only one person can subscribe to each one of the models. For lots of money.
Or like
one slot.
they have, basically.
That's it. I mean, there's of the ideas
That's
that we
a
shared
potential.
on this podcast. That is not the worst one.
There's some Shamika there, I've got to say.
Oh, Fiona Apple reference. We like music here on P.L.O.P. What's your favourite album, Jacob?
Probably Grind by Treacherous Orchestra.
Treacherous Orchestra are a good band. They're folky.
They're really good.
They're
really good.
Funky. Lex.
Not sponsored by Treacherous Orchestra.
We should be though. Treacherous. Somebody send this stream to Treacherous Orchestra.
Yeah, but I don't think they're. I think they're like a side project kind of supergroup kind of deal.
Of.
Like a bunch of different fake musicians, and they like come to make a big thing occasionally.
I didn't know that.
They played in a Scottish castle for New Year's this year, or no, last year in 2019 to 2020.
And where were we?
We were at Lex's, our friend Lex's.
We were at our friend Lex's, which was nice.
Hey,
it was nice.
it was.
Our friend Dan tried to crush a watermelon with his thighs.
And then he punched
it. And succeeded with his fist.
Yeah. The thing is, the first punch he did, like, his fist ricocheted off the impenetrable curved edge of the watermelon and just hit the floor.
He had to take a couple of goes.
He did, but he got through it. I wonder how injured his hand was. Like, I wonder how much that hurt.
He hit the ground and then hit the melon, which is also quite... Melons are really good natural defense.
Some say that the melon is a pretty good substitute for the human head when testing things.
Oh wow!
It's a similar density, I think, not necessarily hardness.
I was gonna say I can't.
But when they test headphones, I think they put them. Oh no! Sometimes when they do microphones, like they're recording in a studio, and they want to get a sound that like could be heard from an actual like person listening, they put the microphone on a watermelon, I think.
That's actually interesting.
And then they ask the watermelon if it's too loud.
No, and then the density of the watermelon affects the sound around the mic. I'm not actually sure if that's necessarily true.
You enjoyed that one. I'm glad you did.
I can imagine the testing facilities of headphones. There's men in coats, and there's a couple people that look like music producers, berets, long cigarettes, that thing. French, because they're artists. And they're sat around there, waiting with bated breath for their test subject to say something about their new headphones. And they're waiting an awfully long time.
Excusez-moi, Philippe, do you think is this sound good? Is this what you are wanting? And the watermelon is just sitting there sort of silently. That would be where, if this was a video, we would cut to a silent image of a watermelon.
Headphones on.
And then Avatar Aang comes along to finish off the blow against the Melon Lord, but he can't follow through because it reminds him too much of his duty that he has to do, and he can't bring himself to kill the Melon Lord.
What? Are there melons?
You know when in Avatar: The Last Airbender, they're not sponsored, and they're like, Aang is like, I don't want to be able to have to take a life and kill the Fire Lord.
They train against.
So they practice with the Melon Lord.
Who is the Melon Lord? Is, to be fair, Toph.
Yeah, but it's actually a melon.
I think Toph would probably be harder to kill than the Fire Lord, frankly.
Almost certainly.
Toph is a
I
god.
know the Fire Lord's pretty fly.
The Fire Lord wouldn't make the mistake
He has
of
a nice
knocking
goatee,
out Toph would never make the mistake of knocking Aang perfectly onto the right rock to unlock his chakras.
Listen, everybody loves Avatar: The Last Airbender, not sponsored, but that bit in the finale is a bit like, come on. I know it was set
I
up
don't
a
care,
season
they've earned it.
beforehand, but he got thrown into the rock perfectly so it could reactivate his. I didn't know you could activate chakras just by being thrown into a rock.
Don't tell me that you didn't go. It happened because you were like, oh, because you'd forgotten about that was where his chakra was. Because when I saw that happen, I was like, he's impaled.
He's impaled.
I think that was a pretty good execution of what could otherwise be a poorly handled sort of tropey thing.
It's true.
Mm.
But I mean, I hope it didn't encourage kids to throw themselves into rocks to try and activate the Avatar state.
Jake,
don't
is there
think
something you want to tell us?
I haven't done a single thing like that. I have tried to actually waterbend before, though. I'm like, just like with willpower. I was like, if I use enough willpower and believe enough, it might work. And like firebend. When my parents used to take us to church, and because church is really boring, I would sit there in this chair,
Attempting to cast magic.
looking at the candles, attempting to control them and refine my unholy
you would have had an
skills.
exorcism performed on you.
Not if they didn't know. I was just trying to like focus and like if I can make this
What
candle.
if they didn't know?
I'm not trying to cast fireballs across the church. I'm just like trying to control the candles
You and
to be
I are
like
such
still.
different people.
And then maybe because Lex, I know my limits. Okay, I don't want to just immediately try fireballs. You need to practice, otherwise you can't succeed. You know.
What do you guys think you would be if you were benders?
Probably an air or firebender.
I would want to be a firebender because they're badass, but I'd probably actually be an earthbender because of my personality.
You do have big earthbender energy.
I do.
I think Lex is probably a waterbender.
See, the thing is, I do give off that energy, but truth be told, I am verging on a pyromaniac. Like,
everybody loves fire.
Yeah,
If
but
you
like-
put something that moves rhythmically in front of a human, that if they touch it could hurt them, no matter what it is, and it's like, this is.
you
top
say
of
that, and yet
You see,
I
like,
do not like Jason Derulo.
the best firebenders weren't pyromaniacs. They understood the dangers of the element they controlled.
Oh my god, Lex is either a waterbender or a shit
I never said it would be a
firebender.
good fire. I never
No, he's
said it would be a
he's
good
either
bender.
a waterbender or a war criminal.
Why pick? Damn it! They didn't really give us any waterbender war criminals. I was trying to
No,
make
they
a joke
did.
there,
What
but-
about the bloodbending lady?
There we go.
Why-
She was dead.
There's so much potential in Avatar: The Last Airbender, not sponsored, to do a more sort of adult approach to it. That it was
I mean,
pretty
the,
adult, to be
the
fair.
Legend of Korra tried, and to some degree it kind of worked, but yeah.
I've not watched it yet. I'm a fake fan.
We have been asked in the chat for our favourite Avatar characters.
Are we excluding Aang?
No, is he a character in
But it's
Avatar?
like, I mean, you can't, because Aang is my favourite, but I can't say Aang is my favourite character because he's
You
a
can.
protagonist.
You can say that.
You can.
Very few people would say Aang is their favourite character,
Aang
I
is
think.
my
Even
favourite.
though
I
everyone
would.
loves that.
Mine is absolutely 100,000,000,000% Zuko. Possibly Iroh though, but Zuko's got a bit more of an.
Mine's definitely
exclude
Iroh.
We
Iroh
can't
because everyone's gonna
include
say
Iroh.
That's a given, you know.
You can't include Iroh. Okay, let's make this more interesting. So first of all, what's everyone's favourite character? Just all everything over the whole thing.
What, in Avatar?
Yeah.
Aang.
Zuko.
Okay, Jacob. Zuko.
Zuko.
I love Zuko.
Me and
I
Jacob
think-
really took the good one to start off with. I'm sorry.
You did. I mean, I love Sokka, but and Suki is best girl. But if we're talking just characters, like watching their arcs being the most interesting and engaging,
Azula.
I'm gonna have to say Azula. Azula fucking slaps.
Yeah.
She's such a good villain.
She's really, really good. And in the
So my
I
type.
got one of the
Damn it.
comics. that they did like after the end of the TV show,
Mm-hmm.
and they it's Zuko trying to find his mother,
Yeah, I actually think I
and
read
they
that
have to
before I
get
watched any
Azula out of it's pretty good.
Listen.
They get Azula out of insanity prison because she's literally insane in it. She's completely cracked, and they use her to help her track down the mother. Azula's really good.
An insane asylum would have been a
That ending where Katara beats her and she just starts completely sobbing. It's just
You said that.
It's powerful, man.
With someone saying the same thing in the chat. Yeah. It's a fantastic scene.
It's so cool.
In the first season, is she?
No. It's
actually, she is, because when Iroh is telling the crew of Zuko's ship about how Zuko got his scar, you can see Azula in the background, doing a fist pump, and as Zuko gets burnt by his own father.
Well,
God, she's so awful. That's amazing.
There's a shot of Iroh looking away, when he says, "I couldn't watch," and then there's just 8-year-old Azula going, "Yes!"
Jesus Christ.
That is a fantastic piece of information.
Okay, but what is everyone's favourite minor Avatar character?
Let's
exclude the main gang. Is she minor?
She's not really a minor character.
I mean, she's not in the main gang. Okay, I can...
I mean, technically, most of them are minors. I mean, Azula is only 14.
My God. Okay, let's stray away from this area immediately. I could go
Kylie's pretty fun.
I was 17. But now, Jesus.
Kylie's really... I love the idea... I love characters in settings where there are magic. There is magic, who aren't magic, who can fight people with magic and not be really disadvantaged. Yes.
Anti-magic people who themselves aren't magic are sick.
My favourite minor character? That's a tough one. I quite like the Swamp Benders. Oh,
they are fantastic.
The Guru is pretty good.
Guru's great. I was thinking about him as well.
I've not watched it in a while. I need to rewatch it, actually. I can't remember it very well.
I really, really enjoy the episode with the fortune teller. Oh no, I know who my favourite minor character is, because it's heartbreaking, is the girl who dates Tea Shop Zuko.
Oh, that is such a good episode.
Lee is who I mean. Lee, sorry.
Lee. Not the Prince of the...
I'm Lee, and this is my uncle, Mushu.
But yeah, no, because she is so great, and she's one of the first people who helped Zuko heal, who isn't Iroh, and who helps him have empathy for the common people. And frankly, I know this is maybe controversial, but I fucking don't like Mai. I don't see the point.
I like Mai. Mai's cool.
You mean May?
Of course.
May. Yeah, she is May.
I probably do. Yeah, May.
I mean, it is kind of spelled Mai.
May just bores me.
The point of May is that she's the opposite to Ty Lee. And you kind of get that.
Yeah, but
kind of like the opposite to Zuko.
Contrast.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like he deserves... She's not that opposite to Zuko, though, because she's...
He's very passionate and she's very dispassionate.
They're both very privileged, and I just,
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of her either.
My favourite side character is the Secret Tunnel Man.
Very good
he's
choice.
so great!
He's
so great.
Cabbage Man is also good, says twitch.tv/second_plan. But, Cabbage Man is the Iroh of the secondary characters.
Yeah.
He gets his own massive business in Korra. Cabbage Corp.
So does
they make cars.
Ellie a minor character then.
And they do corporate espionage and stuff. That's a plot.
Twitch.tv/acutely unaware, who I realise we're leaning a little heavily on for content though. It's just asked us a good question here. Which character from Avatar do we feel like we're most like? Not who do we like most, but who are we most like,
Cabbage Man, because he's a capitalist.
Cody, you are very Aang-like, and I think you know.
I do. That's why I like Aang so much.
At least Aang can show up on time.
All right.
No, he can't.
Jacob.
No, he can't.
No, he can't.
He's literally 100 years late.
I'll take it all back.
Oh my God.
Take it all back. He's exactly like Cody.
Just Aang.
Cody, you should shave your head.
I don't. It would.
Oh
not
my
suit
God.
me. It does. I do
James
not have
Cody.
there is one key way in which they are very different. Aang is 12 and Cody is not 12.
That is.
I was so expecting something more. I was... Technically, again, not to be that guy to do the same technically twice in a row, but technically Aang is 112.
Yeah, but that's still a version of 12.
I have no 12 within my age, nor name.
What about you, Jacob? Who are you most like?
I'm not sure who I'm most like.
Maybe
I'm like Bato of the Water Tribe.
I liked that episode, but
yeah,
I cannot remember.
Actually, also,
I cannot remember at all.
I like Bato, and it's not a bad comparison. Not least because Bato looks a vague bit like a Potter.
No, he doesn't.
He's got long hair and beard. That's all I'm needing.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a mustache. He's
Jacob.
Also, the Potters don't have beards. It's not like that's not like a Potter thing.
The Dad Potter does not have a beard.
The Dad Potter doesn't have a beard, but Jacob
also,
and Sam
Bato doesn't have a beard.
He has a beard.
Yeah. No, he doesn't.
It's like a goatee thing, doesn't he? Or is
No, that's their dad.
That's okay. That's
it's got the widow's peak going a bit though. I'll give him that.
Is that something you want to give him?
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be given that if I had a widow's peak.
No, I'm just saying the Potters have widow's peaks, and so does Bato of the Water Tribe.
They do have widow's peaks. Actually, I've never really thought about that before.
It helps with the metal aesthetic.
It does.
And the vampire aesthetic when we want to bust that out. Is it bad that I like vampires?
No, vampires are cool. They've just been corrupted.
Vampires are objectively cool. But then I don't think that we can set our fingers on when they were corruptions precisely, because as much as we all have historically dunked on Twilight, I actually think vampires have been embarrassing since long before then.
No, it was Twilight, because Twilight is when all of the copycat vampire teen dramas came out, and that's what ruined it and oversaturated.
Oh yeah, to be fair, I genuinely find things like True Blood and Vampire Diaries I haven't engaged with them, but they feel more embarrassing than Twilight to me.
It's because they're ripping off Twilight.
Yeah.
Which is quite an achievement. There's not much to rip off.
Also, I will say this: Twilight has Michael Sheen in it, giving an absolutely fantastic performance.
I did not know Michael Sheen was in Twilight. I do like Michael Sheen.
I adore Michael Sheen. He is the best part of that movie in almost any movie he's in.
It's the best part.
Do you know who's in Vampire Suck, the parody film of Twilight?
I
think I've seen it.
It's a great movie.
You haven't seen it?
We watched it together, didn't we, Jacob, for the first time?
It's Ken Jeong is in that, I think. Is that
does he turn into a chihuahua at some point?
I think so.
Is this Dr. Ken Jeong?
Yeah.
Him. You know, the man, the Dr. Man who was in Community. You know, Google it.
I try not to lose respect for him, but he's on both The Masked Singer and the show where you can see them, but their voice is modulated so you can't hear them sing properly, so that it sounds like they're singing bad, and you have to guess if they can sing well.
One, he is no longer on The Masked Singer. Two, don't disrespect The Masked Singer like that. It is fun Saturday night television. I would rather watch The Masked Singer than X Factor any day of the week.
I'll agree to that, but I won't...
It's a good format for fun.
But Cody, you can't do it any day of the week. They're only on Saturdays.
On any given Saturday of any given week.
There we go.
I don't know, man. I feel like if they got more famous people on, it would probably be better.
I mean... Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been someone who's been on The Masked Singer that when they've taken their mask off...
Get Bublé on!
When someone took off the mask, I was very impressed that it was Seal. I was like, oh my god.
No. Oh my god, The Masked Singer is basically just furries.
Well, speaking of, I watched a video today that really interested me. Have you guys ever heard of a concept called adoptable?
Adoptable.
I mean, I did because you told me before the show started. But
have I heard of a concept called adoptable
in relation to furry culture?
Right. So not as in this child who is at the orphanage is adoptable.
Yeah, because let's face it.
Ranking kids on how adoptable they are. Oh, he's adoptable.
On their adoptability.
Oh, good
Got
Lord.
a 7 for a
Can you
smile, but a
imagine
4 on
an orphanage
adoptability.
top trumps?
Can that be your idea for this episode, please?
I wonder if there's a Tracy Beaker top trumps deck.
Oh,
I
so
bet
what are the
there
stats?
is.
I bet there is.
Precociousness, tragicness of how they
Well,
lost
one's
their
always
parents.
age, and Yoda always wins.
There was something.
Oh,
There was there was an episode of Tracy Beaker when I was younger, and they were playing a game in it. And because I was, a gamer boy who liked games, I always tried to recognise what kind of game it was, and I never could, and it makes me very upset. So if someone in the chat can find out what game they were playing in any random given episode of the original run of Tracy Beaker, you can be modded.
Wow, I mean that's a
You're
hell of
very
a
generous
prize
with
for an
these
impossible task.
We have one mod currently.
So there isn't necessarily Tracy Beaker top trumps, but there is best of Jacqueline Wilson top trumps.
What else has Jacqueline
That is
Wilson written?
Tracy Beaker top trumps,
Didn't she
surely.
do a book about like a schoolgirl in World War II or something?
I imagine
I
that.
don't know.
I don't think she was a bad writer. I think she was actually.
I don't
okay.
think I ever read Jacqueline Wilson. I did read Jeremy Strong though.
Isn't that
What
the
did he
guy
do?
who plays Hawkeye in the Avengers?
That's Jeremy Renner.
I always thought it was Jeremy Irons.
It should have been Mark Strong.
Oh my God, Mark Strong is a space marine, and he was born to be a space marine.
Oh my god.
They need to get him in for a movie.
They do.
If they do movies, they should bring in Titus as a character.
They should do the sequels to Space Marine as movie. We can't talk about 40k. We can't do it. Lex, talk about.
We were
furries.
talking about Mark Strong, not 40k.
So the notion of an adoptable, right? It is an artist will draw a bunch of like their own original characters, OCs, if you will.
They won't say original
they will
characters
put
for
up
the
a
rest of this
post with them.
podcast.
I think you
Well,
mean
for
for original characters.
They'll put up a post of them on somewhere like DeviantArt because, of course, that's where they would put it. And they're like
Original
numbered.
characters.
And you can buy one of these original for characters. And then it's your original character. It's you own it. You've adopted it, basically.
So it's kind of like OnlyFan, but for furries.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
But the thing is, people will pay a lot for furry art, and twitch.tv/second.
Good furry art, though.
How much have you seen?
Like, whenever I see furry art, it always looks like a 5-year-old drew it. You know what I mean?
Okay, we have had very different experiences with furry art.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
whenever
mine
you
is.
see people like, oh, I've drawn an OC, it's like the most. It's like not exactly expertly drawn. Unless you go for like the professional Disney stuff, then boy howdy.
One of my favorite posts, one of my favorite like online memes is when you see someone who's just a normal artist draw feet, and it becomes very clear that they're a foot fetish artist just because it's from how they've done it in like a casual piece of artwork.
Feet.
But so yeah. So another concept that I learned about from this same YouTube video was something called a closed species, which is where someone will make up a furry species.
Oh God.
Then they will say
This is just
only
what
people
DMs
who I
do.
allowed to kind of is, yeah, can use this species. But you can pay me, and I will let you use the species if you buy the rights to use this species off me.
You can't stop people from drawing pictures of things.
So here is where it gets fucking wild. Is there's this one low species called the Grem, who are in such high demand that when a slot opened to get your OC commissioned to be a Grem that you would design, there was a bidding war, and someone ended up paying $20,000 for a furry OC mission.
But they didn't even design.
They didn't design.
I really hope the artist.
They did design it. They did design it. They sent people some bits of ideas for the design, I think, and then Yeah. They commissioned a $20,000 picture.
If you design your own fursona in one of these species that are like exclusive,
You're committing a crime.
Is that seen as like incredibly disrespectful?
It's considered a dick move in the furry community. Or as they call it, a red rocket move.
Oh my Jesus God, my God. Oh.
So it's just a dick move, but it's not like a oh my goodness, that's but like
no, like they'll try to cancel you. They will dox you. They will
right. Okay, so it's pretty bad.
It is...
But you know furries, vicious, brutal creatures.
I don't know furries, to be honest.
Have you guys ever met furries in real life?
I've seen them, but I've never met them.
You've seen them.
There's a guy who walks around my college with a leather mask on, like you know those ones that they put on like people in insane asylums so they don't bite people.
Like
a fucking what are they?
Mask.
Yeah, imagine that, but black with silver studs.
A muzzle.
Yeah, so he might be. I've never actually met him. I've just seen him because you notice him.
Is this pre-COVID?
He was wearing a mask before it was cool.
Wow. Look, one of my favorite jokes to come out of COVID is if you say you get too hot in a mask, then you're literally admitting you're weaker than a furry. But there was a dude who used to walk around my old college with a furry hat and gloves and stuff
hat?
on.
Is like a hat that says "I love dog penis" on it.
Yeah, no, I mean it was like the full head of a fursuit.
He used to walk around wearing that,
and not the rest of it, just that.
Just the hair, just the hands, the head, and I think a tail.
The hands, that's so much. That's horrible. Oh, the hands freak me out, man.
Sorry, the paws.
And he went around college.
Yeah, but only on like special occasions. I never met.
What if he needed to write something down?
It takes.
Or are they really high quality paws?
I don't know. I don't imagine he wore it into class.
My fursona is a wolf that walks on its hind legs, and its top two paws are just human hands. It's an outcast from its fellow wolves because they don't respect him. They think he's a holy mutant.
My fursona is BoJack Horseman.
No, do you know what? That would be dangerous because if wolves evolved to have opposable thumbs, they'd take over. We'd have like a species war.
This is
like imagine if humans just had vicious teeth, as well as like the ability to create
weapons of mass destruction. This is like that. I read a post about how there is something like 39 million kangaroos in Australia. And I think the country that they used was Uruguay, and there's about 8 million people in Uruguay. So if the kangaroos got their act together, they could just take Uruguay for themselves.
You are, of course, aware of the fact that Australia did lose a war against emus at one point.
I am. I don't understand how it happened. Were the emus organised into regiments? What was the...
The less information I know about this, the happier I am. The exact amount of information I know is the amount that I like to know. I have just been asked in the chat by twitch.tv/acutelyunaware how... I'm
pretty sure the emu war ended in a ceasefire. The war with fucking emus ended a ceasefire.
Look, they put up their claws.
Fuck me. I mean, I suppose on one side they'd be firing, but on the other side they wouldn't be firing. So only one side has got to cease the fire, technically. Unless
a funnier image than 48 million kangaroos invading Uruguay.
What's a funnier image than 48 million?
48 million kangaroos invading the Vatican City.
That's it,
the
folks.
Pope's time is up.
The Catholic religion.
I don't think they'd fit. I don't think there's enough square footage to accommodate 48 million kangaroos. To be honest.
God! So,
well, they do have pouches. They could carry like small arms in their pouches. That's so dangerous.
You know what I've just realised is that kangaroos make the ideal suicide bombers.
Oh, you could actually. That's just horrific.
So in this timeline, the kangaroos.
Greenpeace wouldn't be happy with that.
In this timeline, the kangaroos are going to take over Vatican City, and they're going to expand Vatican City. Then we're going to have another crusade.
The kangaroos become.
I'm pretty sure this is one of the Airbud sequels, isn't it?
I don't.
I want to see a
understand that
kangaroo as
reference.
Pope.
I think it'd do a good job. I mean, I think popes overall would be better if they occasionally kicked people to death.
Do you think a kangaroo pope would allow us to use condoms?
I mean, yeah.
I think they'd make it mandatory for humans because they
Because
don't want the.
what
Oh.
is a condom if not a kangaroo pouch for your penis?
I don't think they'd appreciate that narrative. I think
That's not what the pouches do.
I think that would get you disappeared by the kangaroo secret
That's
police.
what they do when I'm around, buddy.
What, they bounce off?
Have you guys seen the inside of a kangaroo pouch?
Yeah, it's so weird.
It looks like a womb.
It
Like
does.
a dry womb.
Well, that does make sense given the purpose of it, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, it's still strange to. I don't know why I imagined it would be furry on the inside, but
That's
it's
what
just
I
not.
thought as well.
I thought that
Like-
as well. I thought that as well.
When you have like a hoodie that has fucking, you can put your hands all the way through. Imagine if that just had like flesh.
I like it. I like it. It's nice. That'd be nice and warm. You take your hands out, covered in blood, just covered.
Imagine if it had flesh and also just nipples.
Why would they
Like,
be
you
there?
had just-
Feel a
Basically-
heartbeat through the flesh.
Oh! I don't know why that's the bit that got me, but it was.
I don't really.
Oh,
appreciate
Jacob's
it.
the one doing the inventions here, because frankly, we've all been coming up with some crackers tonight.
I have got an invention. I have got an invention.
What is your
Yeah,
invention?
Potter's got a pitch.
So
Potter's got a
my
pitch.
my family's moving house,
How's
and
that going for you?
we're decorating said house, and it's going okay. But you know what would be really convenient? So we're painting all the walls, right? And yeah, there's a lot of walls in a house to paint.
At least 4.
There is at least
By
4.
definition.
Plus the ceiling. So that's fine.
Shit. Why is the
And the
ceiling but a
floor.
wall of
Fine
the sky?
surfaces. And also,
Why is the
there's-
floor but a wall of the ground?
you don't paint a floor though, unless you're a weirdo.
What is the ocean?
You know those robot hoovers that just trundle along and hoover up your floor for you?
What are they called?
Are we allowed to say the brand name here?
Yeah, we're on a Twitch stream. What are they gonna do?
Twitch.tv/Roombas.
Rimbas, that's the one.
I'm pretty sure there's
Not one.
other brands are available.
Not sponsored by Rimbas. Other brands of robotic hoovers are available.
But what if they've already got the suction power, so you just like adapt them to have some sort of paint application device, and then you put them on the walls, and they just paint the walls
Ooh.
for you.
How do they defy gravity? What's the
How
mechanism
do
we're
they
going
get
with?
to
They're hoovers. They suck onto the wall. There's like a negative pressure thing.
How do
You
they,
put little curtains.
how do they
they
get
just-
to the corners if they're circles?
Well, to be honest, you're gonna have to do a little bit, but yeah, the big,
Actually, that's fair. How do we-
the majority of the wall just sort of gets done for you.
That'd be quite a slow.
Here's another
process,
thing
I
you could
imagine.
do is if you did that, you could put a paint canister into it that's like a different color at the start and the end, so it prepares a gentle gradient as it goes up and down.
There's so much stuff you could do.
The possibilities are endless.
You can have the Sistine Chapel on your wall.
That is some.
Because it could do it like a 3D
sophisticated painting.
printer.
It would be sophisticated, but
I was picturing just a
technology is
brush,
sophisticated.
not enough to paint the Sistine Chapel.
But
See,
yeah,
I was
there's a
picturing a
brush,
small
but
series of jets,
What, to burn it into the wall?
I was thinking of a
like-
roller, honestly.
like
or
ink
something.
jets, like.
Oh, that sounds right.
The other option is a very, very sophisticated garden sprinkler, which can target the walls.
Oh, they
have
made one
something
of
like
those.
Targeting? Oh,
No,
yes.
they did.
Very bad.
They didn't make one of those. Don't tell me.
They
I
made a robot that paints.
So you're telling
wasn't
me?
good.
Oh, that paints walls.
It was supposed to be like an artistic paint robot, I think.
Well,
to some
that's where they
extent.
went wrong.
Just kind of Jackson Pollocked the wall, but badly.
If you use painting for art, you're dead to me. Painting is for decorating houses.
I
It's not art.
I don't think computers will
Accent
ever
chat
be
to the
able.
artist present.
I don't think computers will ever be able to make art at the same level as humans.
I have seen some randomly generated art, and it looked fantastic.
I don't think.
Have you
I mean,
guys,
maybe I'm wrong.
Have you guys spent any time on This Person Does Not Exist?
No, what is that?
Just go to the site.
I mean, I will after the podcast that we're doing. I'm not sure if you remembered. Lex,
I would
I'm
like. I
getting you
think.
to
I
explain
think
it.
you doing it live and hearing your reaction to this would be interesting.
Well,
for the
again,
podcast.
I'm having the same issue where I can't represent things
Okay,
visually.
Jacob, go to. We don't need to show the audience this because everyone can do it themselves. Because we wouldn't.
www. What's the name again?
Doesnotexist.com. One
This
word.
person. Oh, it's already there in my auto suggest.
So it generates a random person that doesn't exist.
It's Ron Weasley!
I got him!
So, this guy's eyes looks very odd.
Some of them look better than others. It's
Refresh. Oh, this looks like Cody's mum, but if she was a Fox News watcher.
Wow.
But like,
these
yeah,
look better than others.
but some of them do just look like people, and you're just looking at it, and you're like, how
Yeah.
can this not just be a picture of someone who's real?
I feel
And I
like
think
because
that-
I know that I've been like pre-briefed on the thing. You can like pick out some things, but if these were just presented to me, I might just be like the chins. The chins are often a bit weird. I've noticed.
That's a good point.
Well, what it is, and also occasionally it'll look like they've just pasted someone else's ear onto there, which is
Yeah.
Imagine going onto this website
Why
and
is
seeing your
this
own
person's
face.
got like a clam hat?
Says,
and that's how you find out.
credit where it's due. Twitch.tv/acutely unaware said that in the chat.
Thank
That
you,
wasn't mine.
acutely unaware.
Thank you,
That's a
acutely
very
unaware.
good thought.
It was a very funny concept. It's a short horror story. Apparently, if we were to walk past a perfect copy of ourselves, we wouldn't recognise them.
Lex did.
As someone who has, I did.
He was wearing the same clothes. That's not what I meant. If you're
That's
walking...
a perfect copy.
No,
What are
a
you talking
perfect
about?
copy of you physically, not the clothes.
Let's face it, guys. I am
Look like
basically
him
just my
on-
clothes at this point.
It's like that episode of Jimmy Neutron where the pants came to life.
Wait.
So the episode of Wallace and Gromit where the trousers were wrong.
Is Star Wars Episode 10 going to be called The Emperor's New Clones?
Oh,
I hope they don't make a Star Wars Episode 10 and just make it
Will.
like a wide universe.
they are going to. They're not. They're just.
I'm pretty sure they've already planned another trilogy.
I can't even begin to communicate how little I like the concept of cinematic universes. They're just.
I think they're sick. They should play wide, not tall. And that means don't focus all your efforts on one thing, like a trilogy of movies. Do like a universe. Kind of like Marvel, but more stuff that isn't just TV shows and movies.
I don't know. It just starts to become so contract. Like one of the biggest issues with the comic book industry as an industry is that characters are so high profile, so big, and so money making that you can't really change them too much or ever actually kill them. Or so the stakes. They're trapped in stagnation, and that was the feeling that I got at the end of Infinity War. I realized we have reached the point where they're going to have to start treating these film comic book characters like they do their comic book equivalents. Because I watched on screen as Spider-Man died. I was like, oh, he's got more movies contracted.
Yeah.
Infinity War spoilers, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I feel like in order to make such a expansive universe, you have to have sort of like a corporate plan to it. And you know, it just sort of
that is the mistake that DC made. They just kind of took a bit of a fucking scattershot approach to a cinematic universe, which
by having like corporately hired writers, it's kind of like a recipe for mediocrity. I mean, there'll be good stuff within it, but
a new IP for something like that, or an IP people aren't familiar with for a.
You know what? I know
Warhammer
40K.
I know I've just chatted some shit here, but imagine an Avatar cinematic universe.
That'd be sick. It wouldn't be as good as the 40K one. I'll be honest.
Yeah, but it would make money, so it would have one advantage.
I honestly think a 40K one would make more money.
I don't know how they'd make an Avatar in cinema.
I don't think, for some reason, I don't think an Avatar.
It's a good thing they've never tried.
Yeah, it sure is, Lex. It sure is.
live action Avatar movie was not good.
There is no
Doesn't
live action
exist.
Avatar movie in Ba Sing Se.
We mean the James Cameron one, right? I mean, that wasn't great either, but it was
That-
okay.
Oh my god.
That I'm very quiet. That's bad. Says someone in the chat. Is that better? I hope that's better.
Now you're loud for us, but
Oh.
I'll just go turn you down.
That's fine, that's fine.
I've
What about James Cameron's Avatar, Cody?
see. Okay, when I watched it in the cinema, and I loved it because I was 7.
So did I.
Yes, we watched it at the same time.
I was.
I didn't see it in the
We
cinema.
went to the View, and it was
Watched
like
on a small
an hour
TV.
and a half away.
It wasn't that far away. Jesus,
I
it was like 20
I
minutes away
remember
from
it's
my
like-
house.
we went to a. It was. Maybe it's the fact that I and then we went to the View. It's like was at the local cinemas to me.
No, it was.
So
it
it
was
was different.
Yeah, it was.
And
It
then-
was cool. That
Yes.
I think that was just me and your family, wasn't it? That went. It was a good birthday.
Cody,
Anyway, Sam. Yeah,
Was
yeah, it was. Anyway,
if
right,
you're gonna
James Cameron's Avatar. So I watched it in the cinema when it came out, and I loved it because I was 7 and it was very flashy. Even though it's quite a slow-paced movie overall, which leads into my next point that everyone hated it for a long time because it's just an action movie about aliens. But then I watched it semi-recently, last few months. It's a pretty actually good movie. It's a good sci-fi movie. It's good. It's more about the world than the characters, and the story is better than passable, but it's nothing to particularly write
can
home
you
about.
do me just a tiny favor, Cody?
Yeah,
You name for me 2 characters.
Jake
from
Sully
Avatar.
and Natiri.
Okay, it's better than I thought you would do.
Yeah,
So fair play.
it's a good
I had
movie.
Jake Sully and then nothing. I had no other kind of.
Also, it has that super cool, sexy helicopter pilot lady in it.
Rosario Dawson? No.
No, it's a type of role Rosario Dawson would play. He's really cool and super sexy, and like she turns sides to help the Na'vi. I did.
Oh, yeah.
It also has
I
hair
remember.
sex.
Don't we all?
I don't think my hair's long enough for that. And whose fault is that?
Jacob,
It
would you be
was-
open to sexual play?
The time
Thing
is
you'll-
pretty boring.
You thought at the time it was pretty boring.
Avatar.
It's just
Yeah, I
slow
remember-
paced.
It's just Fern Gully,
I
but
thought the
with
testing
guns.
was slow, and the
Our fellow podcaster Jacob appears to be having some internet
And
issues.
it
Yeah,
wasn't
he's
like-
having some bad tech problems.
I think hopefully when our messages, our voice messages, get through to our friend podcaster Jacob, he will learn and try and leave and rejoin and everything. We'll give him a few minutes here to catch his breath, his cyber breath.
I would like to say though, I would like to restate, Avatar is just Fern Gully with guns.
I don't know what Fern Gully is.
You're missing out, man. Fern Gully? It's a story about a magical forest, right?
Is this a movie?
Yeah, it's an
Okay.
animated movie with Robin Williams, and he plays a bat who's been experimented on and is now
It's
insane.
Batman?
Essentially.
That'd
so
be a
ba-
good spin on Batman. He's the insane one, and Joker's the reasonable one. I could be a corporate writer.
Here's the thing, Cody, that literally fucking exists. It's called Batman White Knight.
Oh, I can't believe
It's a
they
comic.
I can't believe they made Batman a White Knight.
No, Joker's the White Knight. His name's
Oh.
Jack Napier again, and he's a good man.
That's a good story. I won't read it because it's a comic, and despite them comics showing a lot of
We're getting some anger in the chat here, Cody, about the fact you don't know Fern Gully. So
well, I'm learning about it.
for you and anyone of our wonderful audience who may not know Fern Gully is the story of a magical rainforest that is being threatened by a group of contractors, with their big old machines who are going to cut it down to build stuff. And one of the dudes who's one of the contractors meets a fairy, and through some kind of wacky mishaps of magic, he then becomes shrunk to the size of a fairy and sees the world through her eyes and ends up turning on his fellow humans.
Well, he sounds like a filthy heretical traitor to me. If he got
Also,
captured.
has Tim Curry voicing an extremely sexual personification of pollution.
That is how I view pollution. Whenever I see pollution in action in real life, if I see a bit of litter on the ground, I come.
I've got to be honest, like, you know, fight against climate breakdown and everything. But, dear God, oil on a pavement does look good.
It does look good. It's captured the rainbow.
It's a bit of the sky fragmented down.
It is. Oh, it's sky fragments. I think we heard a moment from our fellow podcaster, but he is still
our friend and fellow podcast.
Friend and fellow podcastman.
Yeah, come on. How's it going, Mr. Pottercast? Why didn't we call it? That would be a bad name. That's why we didn't.
That was you, in one short sentence. You had a whole arc.
It's not.
Oh, hello.
Ooh.
It's not going well.
It's not going well.
It's really not going well.
We'll check in with our friend and fellow podcaster in a little bit. Well, I'm willing to admit that Avatar may or may not have ripped off this movie called Fern Gully, but what you haven't considered is that ripping off a movie that didn't have guns and then adding guns to it is based.
I mean, to be fair, I can't say that I do not deeply want to see Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
Apparently, it was better than it had any right to be.
See, I've heard it was very disappointing.
How could you be disappointed in that movie? It literally says in its title, "This is shit. Don't watch it." If you read between the lines. But
actually, between the lines, they have a little plus instead of the and. I think.
Oh, that's
plus or an and.
I mean, I don't remember the poster for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
I do remember that when Baz Luhrmann made Romeo and Juliet, he was very edgy, so it's technically Romeo plus Juliet.
Ah, I don't know who Hans Luhrmann is.
Baz Luhrmann. He's a film director.
Oh. Is he any good? He's okay. He's okay.
I think. Wait, who is it who made the two Batman films where they added bat nipples? I think that might have been Baz Luhrmann.
What?
Bat nipples.
To Batman's, I'm assuming it was on
Batman's chest.
suit,
They added nipples to his armor. Are you not familiar with the concept of the bat nipples?
I mean, I think I understand it in concept, but
Google for me bat nipples.
See, this is another thing where I need to visually represent it, but I can't because I'm dumb.
It would be good. Anyone who's interested, it's 2 words. It's bat nipples.
Just Google it. I can't do it all for you.
Yeah, look, this is not a handout. It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
You know? I understand why you're confused. They are both compound words made of 2 smaller words, but not the same ones.
They gave him Batman. They kind of they're not.
Joel Schumacher did Batman Forever. I got Joel Schumacher mixed up with Baz Luhrmann.
They're not as bad as I thought they would be. I'll be honest. They look more like rivets or something, and just in an unfortunate position.
I think the idea was to make him look a bit like a Greek god, but it just didn't quite come across.
No, it did not. They should have really leaned into it and really detailed
the
chest.
Cody, who's the best Greek god?
I don't know much about Greek gods. List me off some of
the best Roman god.
Obviously the Christian one, the only real one. Am I right?
That's the only god, Cody. Who's the best god?
So we're talking about all the fake gods. It's not the Christian one. The fellow Christian. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sucking up to God because I'm afraid of the kangaroos. Maybe God.
I don't know. I feel like God would be on their side. I mean, technically, God made all creatures is the idea, and he really knocked it out of the park with the kangaroo.
He did. Kangaroos. Again, this has been a bit of a podcast of. I read this thing once that apparently kangaroos have a lot of creative ways to kill you. Like,
when you say creative, are we talking like Roadrunner and Coyote kind of style here?
Not quite. Like a couple different. Like a couple. Not like that at all. There's no contraptions. They're not skilled with engineering, nor the physics needed for the Roadrunner.
Upsetting.
It is upsetting, but I'm not here to
If a kangaroo painted a tunnel on a wall, could you run through it?
It depends how good the tunnel was. The drawing of the tunnel.
I feel like okay, so we've got a little bit of Greek god discourse in the chat. I'd like to quickly address before we return to the kangaroo death.
That's reasonable.
IMNM has said Dionysius has a great song about him, which is, that would make sense because Dionysus is the god of,
Is that the cult
revelry.
of Dionysus?
If it's the song I'm thinking of, I have to disagree with the opinion in the chat. But
what is the song?
Please tell us what the song is. But Acutely Unaware, Twitch.tv/Acutely Unaware has said that Hades was the only one who didn't cause a lot of issues. And I would like to draw your attention to the story of fucking Persephone. Hades kidnapped a girl, and she ate some pomegranate seeds, and he was like, you live here now. And all the gods were just cool with it. Justice for Persephone.
She was okay with it, wasn't she? Didn't they get married and stuff?
She was not really okay with it in most versions. She was okay with it in the sense that any female character in a story where the consent is very dubiously taken away.
So we heard it here first. Rape was prevalent in.
Zeus turned into a swan and raped a woman as a swan.
Is Cronus a Greek god?
Was it rape or did she consent? I think she consented to fucking the swan.
I mean, if a swan came up to you and said, "Let's have sex," what are you gonna do? Say no? A swan is just spoken in English.
I would turn it down because I hate the monarchy. So.
I also hate swans, not as much as I hate geese.
There's other versions of that stories that were rewritten where she jumped into there willingly. But in most of them, he becomes obsessed with her beauty. I'm replying to the chat here. But in most of the versions, he just opens the ground beneath her.
Yep. That's quite funny. Because she's a sinner.
Yeah.
I don't know if sin was a concept in Greek.
No, not really. Given that Zeus turned into a swan and then had sex with a lady, I don't think sin was much of a concern for them.
I would also like to make reference to the chat that people on the VOD won't be able to see. And twitch.tv/IMNM said that the song that they liked was The Cult of Dionysus by the Orion Project, which was the song I was thinking of. It's a good song. Well done. Go listen to that song. That's all I had to say. I just was trying to break away from the Greek god.
Anyway, tell me about the ways that kangaroos can kill us, Cody.
Oh, yeah.
I do need to know.
So, and there was only one listed, so maybe they've only got two ways, which is, mano-y kangaroo, and they beat you up, and this way. We heard he's still gone. Our fellow podcaster.
You can't hear me, can you?
Well, we can hear you, but the problem is if we have to hear you in this way, it hurts us.
It's a bit bad, my man.
It's a bit bad. He's working on it. It's technical issues. It's not his fault. This is God's fault. Repent. Or the kangaroos will come for you. So, the river kangaroo, as twitch.tv/second_plan said in the chat a while ago, and has just said now, if you see a kangaroo in a body of water, if you step into that water, it's going to drown you. Because they are strong swimmers, they can move much faster than you. They're much stronger than most people, and they just want to drown you. Because if they're in a pool of water and they see you, it means that you're just in their territory and they're scared of you and they're going to kill you. Because it's fair enough, they're animals. But you're not going to hold ethics and morality against them. But maybe we should.
Perhaps.
But yeah, it was a river kangaroo. And he just stands there intimidatingly. I don't think they rush out of the water to bring you in. I don't think if you get into a fight with a kangaroo near a body of water, they're going to try and knock you in. I'm not sure if they have that tactical genius. Well, how close are you? Because everyone says kangaroos are really dangerous to fight. But how smart are they about it? Do they fight smart?
They definitely fight dirty.
Well, I'm sure they bite. How sharp are their teeth? Oh, presumably quite sharp.
Well, I think they are herbivores, but relatively sharp.
I thought they were meat eaters. Because they're not prey, are they?
Are kangaroos predators? Their eyes are on the side of their heads.
Look at a kangaroo and tell me that is prey. I suppose speed can be a
Herbivores. They eat grasses, flowers, leaves, ferns, moss, and even insects.
They're vegans. Makes sense why they're so militant.
They are buff vegans.
They're buff vegans. They have got big fucking claws as well.
Yeah, you can kind of tell their prey from where their eyes are on their head.
On the side of their head. Why don't you tell us about prey versus hunter eyes?
So, I'll tell you guys about prey versus hunter eyes in the zoological sense, and then I'll tell you about hunter eyes in the incel sense because it's very funny to me. When most animals who are predators, they have eyes on the front of their head because it allows them to have what we would call what's the
Allow them to focus.
depth perception. It gives us depth perception. It gives us focus at different depths, and it gives us a much narrower rate of vision. The cone of our vision is what, like?
What's our field of view?
It's like, I would argue it's like 160 maybe on a really good, if you really open your eyes wide and really pay attention to the size of your vision. I don't
think if you really open your eyes more than what they are naturally, you can see more.
No, I mean, like, if you conceptually, because we just ignore a lot of the information in the side of our
we can always see our nose, but we ignore it.
Yeah, but like we have like, I would say, like 160 cone of vision or something,
give or take.
But most of that, it crosses over, which is why we can do the thing where we can close one eye and the other and things shift, because having detailed depth information is very important for hunting animals. You see it in this is true across all the kind of kingdoms to some extent. Birds, mammals, reptiles, the ones that hunt normally have their eyes on the front.
The animal kingdom.
If they hunt, the eyes are on the front. If it's prey...
Say it in the chat, please. If they hunt, the eyes are on the front.
On the front. If they're prey, it can look both ways. Because their eyes...
If they're prey, their eyes can look both ways. It's not quite as catchy. We're working on it. It's a workshop.
Because their eyes are sort of on the side of their head.
The kangaroo's not have front-facing eyes?
Not that much. They've got like a bit of a compromise,
if you will. Oh, well done. Good job, Lex.
Thank you. But no, their eyes are sort of more to the side of their head, much more like a horse or like a cow, or again, like the difference between something like the eyes on something like a blue tit versus the eyes of a hawk or an owl. An owl's a good example. Eyes very much on the front of their head there.
Owls are fucking terrifying.
Owls are
cool.
Owls are cool, fellow podcasters.
And Jacob is back!
Who knows for how long?
Who knows for how long?
You
Relish him while he's here.
The predator of a kangaroo is, by any chance.
Do I know what the predator... It's a drop bear. Come on, guys.
It's correct.
Everything is the prey of the drop bear. We are prey of the drop bear. Have you guys got a roof above you right now?
Oh! Okay. So, the natural predators of the kangaroo...
Is it a snake?
No. Apparently it's dingoes, humans, wedge-tailed eagles, and before their extermination, Tasmanian tigers, which I didn't know was a thing.
I didn't know we had exterminated Tasmanian tigers.
I'm presuming that eagles are like getting the baby kangaroos.
It's a big fucking eagle taking on a fully grown kangaroo.
Let's look up this. Tasmanian tigers are weird-looking creatures. They're like halfway between they're like a mixture between a wild cat and a wild dog. They look almost like they're clearly marsupial. They've got stripes down their back, and then they've got quite a dog-like face. But
how does that work? Cats are just female dogs.
Do they have crocodiles or alligators in Australia?
I mean, they've got fucking everything in Australia.
They got crocodile. He's Crocodile Dundee, isn't he?
That's true.
Surely they'd eat a kangaroo if they got too close to the watering hole.
Did you hear?
I think they would, but there's a chance that the kangaroo might drown the alligator.
True.
the kangaroo might drown the alligator.
I'm gonna find out one.
Before
What is the
the
lung
kangaroo's
capacity
going to
of an
drown the
alligator?
alligator before the alligator drowns the kangaroo.
Welcome to P.L.O.P, where people will ask what the lung capacity of an alligator is. This is our niche. We're talking about animals killing each other. I'm so proud.
Wedge-tailed eagles are fucking big, to be fair to them. Jesus Christ.
But is it big enough to pick up a kangaroo?
Well, it's almost certainly preying on the smaller kangaroos and mainly the young.
The ones that
Oh my
humans couldn't
god!
eat.
I found an image of a... Jesus Christ!
You
I'm gonna
found an
send you guys
image
this
of
on
Jesus
Discord.
Christ.
You found an image of
Yeah,
Jesus
it's
Christ
in my
kangaroo?
I'm gonna send you guys this on Discord. Content warning, my guys. This is fucking gruesome.
I physically can't view it until
I'm glad we can't put it on the stream because we get banned. But there is a picture of an eagle who's just gutted a kangaroo.
Next
and
week,
it,
the test card is going to be this image. And we're going to start with it. The moment we started talking about gutting a kangaroo, we lost viewers.
It's not that gruesome.
Look at it, guys. Look in the Discord just quickly.
I've seen it. Why are you showing us pictures of it? We're supposed to be entertaining the people.
Doing a podcast.
I think-
I've seen
but
movies and things. But it's pretty big.
So yeah, eagles can eat kangaroos, guys. Bad news.
Imagine if
Good
the
news.
kangaroos evolved wings to compete.
Are the eagles on our side?
So, okay, maybe...
I mean, the eagle
eagles
is
are
the
Protestants.
animal of freedom.
And America is predominantly Protestant. Oh my god, there's going to be a holy war against the Catholic kangaroos and the proddy eagles. This is going to be amazing.
Shit.
Is there a leader of the Protestant version of Christianity? No. Because the whole
The
point of it is
Archbishop.
equal.
I think that's the point. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a bit of a hierarchy, but
I think if
I mean-
you are, there's not like, because in Catholicism there's things only the higher ranking priests can do. that kind of thing.
Like
is
summon
the
a
church
kangaroo
is
army.
the Church of England considered Protestant?
Church of England.
It is, yes.
Is the
Well,
part of
technically, the
Protestants.
king or queen is the leader of that.
Yes,
They are.
that is
But I
true.
don't-
Man, imagine being so horny you branch off a religion.
And make it about you.
Yeah,
What a
he's just-
champion.
I mean, I
No, it's just so he
understand.
can
I've got to
divorce
say.
somebody. It wasn't necessarily about horniness.
Oh, come on. He was so horny for... Was it Anne Boleyn?
I think it was
Yeah.
more about the air thing
Yeah.
rather than his own horniness.
If I'll tell you what, if Henry VIII was in Avatar, he'd be an airbender with an
Yeah.
H.
Yes, I got the joke, but I don't even know if it works that well. to be
Lex
honest.
is not coming back on next week of Plop.
That was my last one. I've dragged us into zoological discussions,
He made
and
3
then
episodes.
Would you guys like to hear about the incel definition of hunter eyes?
Yeah.
I like how
So-
that's what trailed off. Yay!
Please allow me to go to the incel wiki, which does exist.
Offhand.
I know
Fake
this offhand.
Intel. Fact, Noah.
Of people who are,
Ah.
out of the three of us who are most likely to understand and be familiar with incels, Lex, I'm afraid that it is you.
It's fair. Personally, I consider myself to be a bit of a curator, a sort of a human zoo watcher owner. What do you call it when you own a zoo? What do you call the people of the hit film We Bought a Zoo? What are they? Zookeepers?
Keepers?
Zookeepers. I consider myself to be a bit of a Joe Exotic of the sort of the crypto fascist and incel
Hold on,
world.
no, this just means you've got some people like locked up in your house. I mean, you're keeping.
Yeah, I hunt Nazis and then I watch them kill each other for sport.
I don't think they'd be very good at that.
No, they get really conflicted, but then you tell one of them that if they
They're
do it, they'll be
1/8
poorer.
Irish.
So-
I gotta go.
Hunter eyes are, as I
This is
quote,
still technically a
particularly
zoological
attractive
discussion.
eyes for men. It's not zoological, Cody. There's no science here.
Animals...
They are the combination
Wait, never mind.
of eyes that are alluring, vertically narrow, deeply set, hooded, have a positive canthal tilt, and an interpupil distance within normal range. Interpupil distance brackets IPD, which is something they measure on the Incel wiki. The hoodedness comes from a protruding brow ridge and fat tissue above the eyes. Hunter eyes are a sexually dimorphic trait. Men exposed to more prenatal antigens have smaller, less neotenous eyeballs. The female opposite to hunter eyes are roundish, cute, i.e. neotenous eyes that signal harmlessness.
I like how cute.
And this is one of my favorite
things.
sentences. This is one of my favorite sentences that I think I've ever heard that I'm about to read out here. A male with a very bad eye area may be an eye cell.
That is one of the most. I mean, before what you just said, because that was just funny, but all of that, the fact that people are actually thinking about this and I'm writing it down, is the most toxic thing I've ever heard.
What I liked is how they had all of this semi-pseudo, like, scientific jargon for the male one, but then when they get to the male one, the female one, it's just, they're cute. It's like, very on
no, they did say
incels.
neotenous. They did say neotenous, I'll give them that.
That
Let me put it this way here. I could have done what they're talking about in this entire wiki in one word. Smolder.
Zoolander.
People self-identify as incels.
People identify specifically as different types of cell.
If you identify as an incel, you're not an incel anymore. You're a volcel. You're just a cell.
What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Do you know what incel stands for, Jacob?
No.
Involuntary.
I think I've been told, but I think I've forgotten.
It stands for involuntary celibate. So if you
I did know that.
Choose to be an incel, you're not an incel by definition.
Yeah, it's true, because these people seem to think that the problem isn't that they would if you would willingly call yourself an incel, that is the choice that is presenting anyone from ever fucking you.
But, so they self-identify as an incel,
and then they pick which type of cell they are here.
Different.
So
I'll read out a couple of them here. I'll try to not. I'm going to avoid all of the ones that include vile terms. So we're skipping the race ones. We're skipping the medical. And
just let Lex speak.
So they identify themselves as an incel because they can't.
And then they identify specific physical.
Shut up! I know there's subcategories. You've explained already, okay? I'm just trying to finish my fucking thought.
That was boiling over for so long.
You interrupted me in the same place twice in a row.
All right.
So they are
continuous talking sound. Calm down.
They identify as an incel because they can't get a girlfriend, and then they discuss reasons of why.
What boyfriend?
Why they can't get a girlfriend? Is that what they do? They're like, oh, this is why, and it's not my fault. Is it kind of that?
Yes, it's exactly that. So they determine that society is prejudiced against them based off one of these different categories.
We said the funny
which I'll read out some of the highlights here. We have
so awful.
acne cell, bald cell, chin cell, cute cell, dick cell, fat cell, frame cell, hair cell, height cell, nose cell, rammer cell.
What? Grand will break the wall.
What is the ramus?
So what are these
Holy
prefixes?
fucking shit! Holy shit!
What are these prefixes denoting?
So if you're a dick cell, you've got a horrible looking penis. You've got a red rocket.
Yeah, what is the reason you're an incel?
I see, okay.
Ramus cell, I've just found out, is someone who thinks his short ramus contributes to his inceldom.
What's ramus?
A ramus is the vertical part of the mandible located under the ear. The bone is sexually dimorphic, meaning the longer it is, the more manlier the face.
These people clearly haven't heard about how much pussy femboys are getting.
They have. If you do that, because they have different words for the different people who are the natural predators of the incels.
Where is it? Do you know what I think the real issue is? They spend too much time complaining about how they're not getting a girlfriend and not enough time talking to women.
Yes.
As,
Sometimes, guys, in order to get the
reasonable
opposite sex to
people.
like you, you have to talk to them.
Just
Sometimes
talk
you
to
have to
people like reasonable
treat people.
humans.
Yeah. So by the way, they are very aware of the whole femboy trend. They've been complaining about pretty boys for some time. And they believe that their strategy is essentially
Strategy? What?
yeah.
They think people have
Well,
strategies?
personally, I think it's more of a
If you have
tactical
a
game.
strategy in a romantic life, I think you're just a dick. Like, yeah,
So
I'm gonna use all my pickup
apparently
lines and trick them.
Jacob, not just strategies, mating strategies.
There's people aren't strategizing; they're just being themselves or trying to be cool.
Incels think that pretty boys, or as they put it, some black pill theorists suggest pretty boys are alpha beta males.
What
and that
is
they
a
spread their
fucking
genes.
black cell?
A black pill. A black pill.
black
the black
pill.
pill is the black pill is a concept among a lot of different niche ideologies online. That it's essentially, the whole take the red pill, take the blue pill thing from the Matrix.
What's the Matrix?
Good question. Have you heard about trans people?
What's the people?
Okay.
I was gonna say, what's
They're like
trans?
kangaroos,
Whoa!
but they have more than 2 ways to kill you.
What? That's far too many. We should kill all of these people.
Yeah. All people, everyone.
Everyone.
No, so basically the black pill is an ideology of despair in a weird online community.
Okay.
Some theorists suggest that they spread their genes through a short-term mating strategy like Chad does, reproduce a large number of sexy daughters instead of sexy sons.
Oh my god! Can we move on from the incels, please? We've been stuck on this for too long.
If somebody identifies themselves like, oh yeah, I'm an incel, and I go on these incel boards, like chat boards or whatever you call them, I think I would actually just punch them in the face.
What,
I think you could probably take
you'd
them,
make-
Jacob.
you'd make them a broken nose cell? That's so rude.
So what's wrong? What is actually wrong with
Okay.
people? It makes you despair at humanity. Because this isn't the only weird group of bastards complaining about nothing and then making up horrible, like, sexist theories.
Have you guys heard of the Labour Party? Hey, political.
Hey.
Are there female incels? Presumably, yes.
Fem cells.
Oh,
They're
for
called
fuck's
fem
call them
cells.
incels! What that really...
So why don't the femcells go to the incels and be like, hey, we've got loads in common, nobody wants to fuck us, let's fuck?
Because both the incels and the fem cells on some level think they deserve better.
Well,
They won't
where they're
fuck
just
each other
wrong.
because they think each other are too ugly.
Incels that don't think they deserve better become furries.
See,
Heard it here first.
this is where I really believe. This is where I really believe in the concept of leagues. Okay.
You do
Sometimes-
believe in the concept of leagues?
Do you?
No, I don't believe in leagues. But you know when they're like, they're out of your league.
Yes. I'm familiar with that concept.
I've heard of it. I've
Well, if you're an
people have said
incel
it to
because
other
you're
people
ugly.
whilst I'm there, but
Ooh.
Okay,
if you're
lost track of
ugly
this
and if you're an
conversation.
incel and you're ugly, and you've identified this like, oh, I'm too unattractive to get attractive people, then maybe you're just gonna have to, cut your losses.
Fucking hell.
Stop! Beggars can't be choosers, okay?
exactly. Take what
If
you
you're like,
can
where
fucking
nobody wants to
get.
fuck me, and then some people come along and say, hey guys, nobody wants to fuck me either. Why don't we talk to each other like people? I just see where it goes.
But the
They're
thing
like,
is,
nah,
a lot
you're
of
fucking ugly.
incels,
They deserve
the
to be
incel-
alone.
they do, honestly. But at the
Fuck
same
them, they
time,
choose
But don't
to be,
actually.
That's the whole point. Oh, then they did. Oh no, they don't. They're involuntary celibates, not voluntary celibates. I've misunderstood. Please.
Yeah, but
The other
if the people are coming and saying, hey, I nobody wants to fuck me too, then they are voluntary. They're just too
Well,
picky.
the other thing also is that they believe that, and this pains me to say, they believe that women have an advantage in society and that an ugly woman can get with an attractive man. And
We need to stop saying the funny word. Because every time we say it, I have to just stifle my laughter. You know what word?
What, women?
What, society?
Is it women?
Society. I was so confused.
I honestly had no idea.
It's
Does you
like-
think the word women is funny?
I was like, come on, Jacob. We all know. I'm not saying it
you should?
Don't say it.
because it's no. I'm not saying that women aren't funny. I'll think it very loud, but I won't say it.
Oh right, okay. Sexism. Can't have an episode of P.L.O.P without it.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking the only word that I thought that Cody would have found funny in that sentence was women.
Why?
Because
Yeah,
I didn't pick up on this. Because what are you talking about? That's why.
Society.
Because society, because Jacob.
Yeah, I
Cody-
understand that now.
Jacob
But
is
the
based
time
on
is
red
seems a
pill
bit
to not
random.
understand society. We should just
Continue, Lex.
continue, Lex.
Technically, we haven't lived in a society since since the 80s when Margaret Thatcher killed them. But
Big up the
you know,
boys.
we take what we can get. Wow, Cody, I
Unlike
can't
the
believe you love Joe
incels.
Biden. Personally, I consider myself a bit of a vote cell because all the political parties keep cucking me, but no matter what I do, I still have got a vote. So it's like, you know, what am I going to do? Like,
Oh my god, I can
participate?
vote now. That's sick.
Oh my god! Oh god!
Hey, one more for wait. No, he likes the Tories. Shit.
Fuck!
Ray, I'm gonna spoil my vote. I don't wanna
Yeah, I probably will.
I don't. I'm not. The more people.
I'm
So
not
you're
that
both
way.
voting for the Tories. then, in fact.
or wasting your vote and voting for anybody that isn't the Tories or Labour. Okay, no. Let's move away from political.
I think I'm
discourse
going
because
green. I
I'm
genuinely
bored.
think I'm going green.
Okay, let's.
I might
really
go
so
green
tired.
as well, but
Sorry, yeah, we have got into genuine, authentic political discourse,
Yeah,
which isn't what
is
Plop
boring.
is about.
It's not what Plop is about. And also, we're getting near the end of the episode, so we need to end on a positive note.
Okay. What can we do to wrap all of this? Let's do a recap of where we've gone today because we've come on quite a journey.
recap.
We've cut. Well, that's
What
not.
are you talking about?
Okay, let's debate the validity of a recap.
This isn't like a children's show where you just repeat the same program twice in a row for no reason, like they did in the Teletubbies. They went again. Like, what was with that? That's just lazy
I
writing.
don't understand what you're talking about.
Jacob coming
Yeah,
after
the
the writing of
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies live on
In
stream.
the Teletubbies, they have like one of their shorts of the Scottish man going around the house, turning the lights on and off.
Scottish man in Teletubbies.
And then it cuts back to the Teletubbies, and they just go again, and then you just see the exact same thing again immediately. What the fuck was with that?
I don't remember any of this, and I like to think I watched a fairly decent amount of the Teletubbies.
Do you not remember the catchphrase again? It was like the only word they ever said other
I
than their
remember
names.
again. But they did also say naughty Nunu. Naughty.
Naughty Nunu sounds. That sounds
I
a
mean,
little bit
technically
sexual.
speaking, they're like 2 classes above Pokemon. So they're pretty powerful, really, if you think about it.
Wow.
Could you imagine if Tinky Winky was in a Pokemon game and he just dominated?
Oh, guys, let me ask you a question here.
Please do.
Let me ask you a quick question. If you think about the Teletubbies, what material do you picture the screens on their stomachs being made of?
Not.
Same horrible felty foam as their bodies, because that's what it was.
Are we talking about what it would feel like in universe or as the costume?
Like when you remember it as a kid, if you remember the Teletubbies, what did it look like on their stomach?
It looked felt.
Yeah.
Because I just misremembered this because I could have sworn dead that they had like a tinfoily kind of texture there. No, it is just the felt.
Yeah, I mean, in universe.
I do remember one episode where they had the DVD loader just bouncing around.
Really?
Could you imagine?
The Teletubbies was
Why are
fucking
there no
weird.
YouTube poops of that? It's just normal Teletubbies, but they got the DVD logo bouncing around.
People always like to say, "Oh, In the Night Garden was a bit of a trip," and like it was at times, but the Teletubbies was actually a trip. There's these strange creatures that are vaguely humanoid with televisions in their stomach. It's very odd. I don't support it. I would not let my children watch the Teletubbies. I think that should be
Okay,
what we end
neither
on.
would I.
the Teletubbies or Avatar benders, what would their elements be?
I mean, their colours kind of match up.
Oh, for
Tinky
fuck's
Winky would be a
sakes.
waterbender, right?
Exactly.
Lala
yes.
would be an airbender. Poe would be the earthbender. No, wait, Poe's the red one. Dipsy would be
Firebender,
the
Poe's the
earthbender, and Poe's the firebender.
They do represent the four kingdoms.
They do.
This implies that Poe at
So,
one point is just going to
Wait,
eliminate the other
wait.
Teletubbies.
You know how the sun? You know how in the Teletubbies, the sun is a baby.
Yeah.
What if there was like a spirit of the sun, much like there was a spirit of the moon, who died, and then a baby had to go up there in its place, like what happened to Yue?
And is that why?
are you
it's a kid
suggesting
show?
that Teletubbies is a proto-universe for Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I am suggesting that in fact the Teletubbies were the first benders.
What do they bend? This is dumb. Okay,
They bend tubby custard.
this is the end of the podcast. Say goodbye, Jacob.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Lex.
Oh.
His internet prevented him from saying goodbye. Say goodbye, Lex.
Bye, guys. Bye.
We hope you liked the podcast, and please like the podcast video on YouTube. Okay, goodbye. Thank you.
Discussed endings.